Say, bruh, it's the podcast.
What's up? It's Hot Boy Troy. We got Cuddy and Jazz, and this is the Say Bruh podcast.
Episode 30, which actually happens to be our 1 year anniversary.
One year anniversary. Man, time is flying.
Time really did fly. Like, you think about it, it really did. It flew, but it also seems like it's been like forever since we've been doing this.
Seemed like the year went by fast. I feel like the year went by fast, but still, like, there was a lot that happened. So it kind of does seem like a long year. I don't know. It's kind of confusing.
Lots of
Seemed like yesterday we was just ordering our stuff from Amazon.
That's probably been the fun part about it too, is seeing all the videos that are like now popping up on our story. From
seeing the growth, man.
You see the what is it? Humble beginnings.
And people thought we was about to be one hit wonders.
Hey, we kept it strong.
That's
but
funny.
no, I'm super excited about this. But we did want to jump into the first thing. We only felt like it was right when you have actually three people of color here who run this podcast, and to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement, George Floyd, all of it, and kind of where we took our stance. And I think our first conversation was the day you guys went out to the walk around. Yeah, the protests around downtown starting at City Hall. You guys ended up attending that. And so we ended up talking right after you were done, like, hey, where are we going to put, like, where is our voice going to speak out? And so I'm really glad that we made that decision. We all knew where we stood. It was kind of like, how do we present ourselves? And I think right now is kind of where we speak on how we feel about it. Because, I mean, we're about a few weeks into everything happening. The protest happened. What is it? It's been about a week, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, about 2 weeks now.
And so, I mean, still so much has been changing. It's still so active on social media right now.
Yeah.
And so it only feels right to speak our minds on where we're at here.
I seen somebody, I think it was a football player. He was like, man, I'm glad that it's happening during a time where people don't have sports. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm pretty sure if we had sports, it probably would have got lost a little bit. But he said the fact that we don't have sports, everything is heightened right now. And everybody, the whole world is paying attention to racism in America. Not just America, but just, everywhere.
Even around the world.
That's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel about it too. Like I was thinking of it, how had this not been this crazy pandemic where the whole COVID-19 and people out of work and all that, like, would it had the same impact or the same spotlight on it? Because the fact that people ain't at work, like, that gives them time to be out there protesting and just being active and put their, like, I mean, even on social media, you see like everyone putting like all their focus on that, or like just
from the blackouts,
IG stories, doing it. I mean, it's just, it's timing, man. Like, so, I mean, it sucks that it's going on, but it has to happen at some point. Yes.
Overdue. And I mean, when you say like everything happens for a reason, I had seen a similar post too. It's like, dang, like it took a pandemic, no sports, no entertainment, nothing.
I mean, people gotta be like, there has to be some sacrifices in order to shit happen.
Oh yeah.
And it sucks that it works that way, but you know what I mean? Some people that's the only way some people have like learned and shit.
The rest of the world had to quiet it down so the right voices could speak up.
Dude, the fact that this is literally like the protest has just been going on in different countries and stuff has been amazing to see. The fact that they have, I've seen a few cities have Black Lives Matter painted in the streets is a powerful thing that's going on right now.
I seen K Rich pushing for that to try to get that done over here.
Fresno, hey, if they say we get to do it, you gonna try to get a letter or what?
Yeah, let me paint the
You,
C
you
or
gonna try to
something.
get the C in the black?
Yeah, do that in Old English font. That'd be crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy, and it's like I remember when it first happened. I had sent you guys a message to our group message, and what I say, I was like I wish I was black so I could reply something to these people because they were like dropping like those memes or whatever.
What
And
was the post again? I'm trying to remember
it
that you
was
had shared.
it was that one where it was this is protest and this is a crime. But like
The looting.
to me, like I was like, you can't compare the MLK protest and then underneath put a photo of the looting. Like looting and protest is not the same. You know, like you could do like the MLK photo and underneath you could put the peaceful protest. You could put Kaepernick, you know, and say like that was protest, this protest. But that's when like media or like these people that make the memes, they try to like manipulate you or like just make you think different. Like, oh, they're right, you know, like no, like dude, there's people doing the same thing that MLK was doing now. So just get it right. So like I wanted to say something that I don't know. I just felt like being Mexican, I couldn't
Nah, man, you
say nothing. So that's the reason I sent you guys that. And then both of y'all said something like, "Yo, you still a person of color? You could say something." And then after that, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start posting and sharing how I feel about things because you know.
Nah, man,
it's on the right.
It was interesting because I got tons of messages from everybody, including you guys, just checking on me and seeing how I'm doing and stuff. I mean, initially I'm like, damn, again, like, how long will it take for the world to recognize that racism is still around?
How many
But
lives?
it was also a good thing to see, the people who I didn't expect to reach out, and then some who I kind of expected to reach out didn't reach out, if that makes sense.
No, yeah,
I was fine either way. Was like, at first I was like, let it burn it down, burn Minnesota down to a crisp. If I got to go over there and put my s'mores out so it could burn down, let it burn.
What did Usher say?
Let it burn. But after a while, it's like, all right, we've done enough.
We got the attention. Now let's do something about it.
But like I mean, like you said, you can't let it stop. I feel like there's been times where like we protest and or people protest and we speak like we did it with the whole keeping the kids in cages and the whole ICE and all that, and then it stops, and it's just like it fades away, just like anything else on social media. Like it just goes on and then it fades away. But like you can't like I like that it's been 2 weeks and people are still going hard with it, you know, like because you gotta keep going at it. You can't stop.
And now's the time. Keep that momentum going.
Yep, for sure.
But yeah, so shout out to everybody who checked on us. Just in general,
man, I was seeing
we good.
I've been seeing a lot of things on Twitter. Like I hardly get on Twitter, but I just been scrolling through it, and there was just a bunch of people's opinions and all this, and like you see a lot of like corporate companies like being all for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Like you had the NFL, right? Which now they're standing up where they didn't do it when Kaepernick. Like I mean, look at what happened with Kaepernick. You know what I mean? And everyone, I mean, he lost his job, and everyone going at him, and now they're posting their statements. You have different companies doing their statements, and I was seeing some of the comments on there, and I kind of felt like it was true with what some people were saying, how some of these companies are only posting about it or going at it just so they don't get canceled.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I mean,
like, is it genuine?
that out so much.
Like, goddamn, it's crazy, you know. Or how some of these protests, like they're just being gentrified and shit. Like now you have just people going because it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're doing the photo op shit, you know? Like,
I've seen a few photo ops and people getting busted because they are, just going to do a photo op. But man, shout out to everybody who's, been going
genuine and real about it.
Posting and like, everybody handled things differently. So that's why originally, like when you did send that message about, one of us posting or whatever the case may be,
On the
I was like,
podcast,
man, I just don't want to get heated. That's
from who though? Like,
say what?
I said heat from who?
No, I don't want to get heated, like riled up.
Oh,
I don't want
you don't want to
riled
get
up, and
pumped
then
up.
I'm like,
So
That's
Gotcha.
that's an interesting thing that you say about riled up, because I feel like we are so conscious of like our own emotions to like not let our anger like or frustrations, whatever we feel, like be effect on people who think opposite of what we believe. But like I had my own situation and with an organization that I'm not affiliated with anymore due to what was said. And I remember in that moment, I was like, I could speak up right now, but I'm going to speak about anger, and it's almost like not attacking, but like, I know that I was in a place of emotion.
Yeah, it's going to come from a different
Exactly.
area or whatever. And I think that's why we need people say like, and damn, that's true. I didn't even think of it like that. Like, say if Troy was to speak on this, like, it's going to build something up. It's going to build anger or just become a little more aggressive or whatever, to where, I mean, all along I felt like it was our job. It was our duty, whether it's Mexicans or our white friends, that like we got to do it, to come with a different approach, like, because we can't leave it up to the black women and men to speak up. And then, I mean, it might come from a different place. I mean, it's going to come from the heart, but I mean, there's going to be more passion and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
like,
that was
the tone might be different, to where we know what we feel, because you guys are our friends. And I mean, mainly, I mean, that's why I speak up, because like, I mean, my best friends are black, you know what I mean? And I might say it in a different tone than gang. I might say it in a different tone. So I mean, that's why we do need other people to speak up, and because it's not your guys' job to do it, you know what I mean? Like,
man, it's for everybody to do it, man. Yeah. And everybody want to be treated the same and respected the same. I had the pleasure of sitting down with an older Asian lady who you guys might know. I won't say the name. She wants to she has black friends from the Bay Area, has black friends. She's retired now and well respected. But she wanted to know from a younger point of view, a younger black man point of view. So she was like, am I comfortable to do a sit down? And she has some questions and just in general. And I was like, I'm all for it. This is the type of things that we need. It was just funny because
that's the way it should be done.
One thing when I was talking to her, I was like, yeah, when I first moved here back in 2011, I said, in 1 month I got pulled over 9 times, and she just like couldn't believe it. I was like, they basically seen a black man in a new car,
red car,
and
that was one of the first stories you and I had when I first met you. I was driving around in your car.
And I told her, I said it wasn't just white cops that pulled me over. I said it was Hispanic, it was black. I just was just shocked in general that well, not shocked, let me say that. I just was like, damn, 9 times in 1 month, this got to be a record. And I didn't get any tickets. I did get 1 ticket, but it was it was because I was texting and driving. Don't text and drive, kids. But yeah, besides that, it was just like, man, driving while black.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's stupid.
and I mean, that's such a thing. Like we go to lunch all the time when we were at least in the office, and like I would tell my parents this even prior to all this happening. Like it was definitely a fear of mine whenever we would go out to lunch to get pulled over, because I'm like, you have 3 colored people in 1 car, and we went to different areas. We went to like Kings Canyon, we went up to North Fresno, like. But the fact that we were this group of
the minorities,
the minorities that, I mean, I did get scared if like we were at a stoplight and there happened to be a police officer like at the other side of the intersection. Like that was always on my mind, that one of these days we might not come back from lunch and our office is gonna be like, where did they all go? And it would be sad, and I'm glad it never happened, but that was always in the back of my head.
Now it's crazy how like you grow up I don't know. I mean, Troy might feel the same. Like I know I grew up like with that in the back of like it's normalized already, but you still have it in the back of your head. Like if
Like
I'm
it
in the
shouldn't be
car,
normalized.
yeah, like if I'm in the car with someone and they're driving crazy or take off when like right before the light turns green, it's like, yo, chill, because man, you're gonna get pulled over. Like, fuck, like it's just crazy. Like, and I grew up feeling that. You know what I mean? Like
I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
Another thing that I watched, I think it was on like ABC. It wasn't ABC 30, but it was like something on ABC. It was like a national thing. And they had basically all like the black reporters and anchors talk. And one of the things, this grown man who was like, basically he dropped some tears. He's like, when do it get to a point when I have to have that talk with my son? The cop talk, you know, if you get pulled over, put your hands right here and this and that, don't talk back. This is how you talk to him. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Can I, you know, get my my insurance?
Can I reach out? Can I reach for my ID?
All that stuff. And I'm like, man, it's crazy to think that that's how we have to react in a normal situation.
And that's not normal.
That's something you have to teach.
Yes.
Like that's not normal. That's not something that I mean, I have friends of different ethnicities, and like not everyone goes through that. You know what I mean? Like not everyone thinks like that. That don't even cross their mind because they grew up different. You know what I mean? And bro, and that's true. I seen like with all this going on social media. Like I'm pretty sure y'all seen it. I seen a post of a little kid holding a sign that said, "When do I go from being cute to being scared or being
a threat?"
It was something like that. I was like, God damn, it sucks. Like, but it's true. You know what I mean? Like, I remember like being I mean, in here on we had like 2 black families, 5 white families, like, but it's majority is Mexican, so it wasn't so much of the race thing, but it's still like the hood versus the little cleaner area. And damn, so we dealt with all that shit, and you just grow up feeling that, like fucking, you get stopped, like you're gonna get a gun pulled on you or whatever.
I'm curious, Jazz, how was it in Washington?
I can only recall like a few interactions that I had that were unpleasant, to say the least. And it was never with officers. And I think because I used to work at a hardware store, and this was a very small town. It's similar to Selma, but even smaller. That happened to be in a college area. And that's one thing too. We were a college town. So you did happen to have more African Americans like that, or black people like that. That was probably my first introduction into black culture, because I grew up here in Selma, very similar to Huron. Like, it's mostly Mexicans. I probably had like a handful of black students in high school and middle school growing up, and I wasn't introduced until college to more black culture. And so that's when it started becoming a little bit more apparent to me that I wasn't just seen as Mexican, I was seen as black as well. And it happened to be by customers at the store that I used to work at, and like certain people would refuse my service. So the town that I lived in was primarily white. And again, like you can't
Is that
say
Pullman?
Yeah, Pullman, Washington. And so, and it's not to say like everybody there was racist, because that was not the case. They were actually probably the kindest people there. I remember when I went up with my dad and my mom, and somebody had a white male happened to hold the door for him when he was like still a distance away, and he was like, "I know you're going to be okay here." Like he felt like I was going to be safe. But I mean, I still had my interactions, and I mean, you kind of, you take it, you sit with it, but you try not to put like a blanket statement out there, because then you just kind of live with that hate.
Yeah.
And so it was a little different in each area that I lived in, though. Nebraska was a little bit harder, just because it was even a smaller town. Even the amount of athletes we had, there were not very many black athletes, because they recruited mostly local. So they did happen to be more white but this was also a part where I was one of like few Hispanics in the area. So it came kind of from both sides. And there was only like one time I recall being questioned by an officer, but it was more because, well, no, there wasn't really a reason why he should have. I just happened to be on campus walking really late at night because I had gotten done with a basketball game and I was walking back to my apartment.
Crazy.
Okay. Well, hey, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. The whole shebang. We just want to be treated the same at the end of the day.
Exactly. Troy, there's actually one question that I wanted to ask you because, like,
Go for
the
it.
one thing that I noticed differently from, like, I'm kind of observing, like, Black Lives Matter has been around for a while. I think of, like, the Trayvon Martin case. And during that time, like, there were protests and stuff, but, like, I think the conversation on social media died out really quickly. But I think here, what's different and what I've been noticing is, like, when it first started, it was everybody posting like the protests that were happening, like the brutality of the police. And so like the very harder images and videos to watch. But now it's changing to where it's more educational. It's like, okay, this is why it's happening. Now this is what we need to do to change it. And so it's becoming, the conversation is continuing because we now know steps to take. I don't remember it back then, back in 2012, but also social media has changed since then. But when you watch the news, like how, because you're probably the only one out of us who actually watches the news, how's the conversation like being told through like CNN and all of these people? Like, are they following that same trend?
If I had to say, the Trayvon Martin thing was bigger than Floyd, especially from the media, because it was different. Obviously, you had a wannabe security guard, literally racial profiling a black kid, and he didn't commit a crime. He was wearing a hoodie. We all know the story. He had the Skittles.
This guy was a wannabe security.
Yeah, he was like you know how you got the neighborhood watch type thing?
Yeah.
That's what he basically. That's what it was.
Bruh. Yeah, I had no idea. Like, what the fuck?
And it was bigger. Granted, let's see, it happened in 2012, so I was turning 23, I think, at the time. So like that resonated. I think he was like 17.
Yeah,
at
he
the
was like
time
16
or something
or
like
something.
that. So it resonated, just because we wear hoodies. We go to the store and I always get my, sweet tooth candy and stuff. But the fact that guy wasn't committing a crime, and he lost his life because a person racially profiled him, and just
Crazy.
It's not like like I said, he wasn't committing a crime or anything. It's just mind blowing. But from the media side, there was no doubt in my mind. Trayvon Martin was bigger than the George Floyd thing. I think now with the George Floyd,
you think it's more because just in general, TV is fucking dying. Like everything's on social media, so you feel like all the like, if it was to be like more focused on the news and actual cable TV or whatever, like we wouldn't see it. I know I wouldn't see it. So we're kind of glad that it's that like the eyes are on social media, right? Because everyone's gonna actually see that.
Yeah, I think now that since it is on social media, I feel obviously social media is much bigger than it was in 2012.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was more black people going hard for Trayvon Martin in the 2012 because, man, I remember when it happened and my mom, like, it was like, you having that speech all over again with your kid. Be mindful, pay attention to your surroundings and such stuff like that. So I think the Trayvon Martin thing definitely was bigger just because it was, I think it was, obviously a gun. and it just was. I think that was bigger in my opinion. From social media to TV, it had a bigger meaning in a sense. Now it's just everybody's involved. It's whites, blacks, and everything. And then when he got acquitted, that just like really fueled the fire, but it wasn't as big as the protesting and everything going now.
Mm-hmm.
Which we still have to wait and see what's gonna happen with these guys.
Yeah, man.
I know. Like, there's people like happy that they got arrested and all. It's like, cool. That's one of the battles, but we still have to wait and see what they decide. And goddamn, they better do right.
And we still have the other cases that are open too. You have Breonna Taylor that just got reopened, and so it's kind of it's not ending.
They coming for that ass, man. They got to, man, because and I mean, the biggest part of it, the way I see it, is like they have to do good and do what's right, and you know what I mean, convict these people, because that's the only way other people. I mean, I don't want to throw it out to the cops or whatever, but like these officers are gonna learn from that and be like, God damn, like I'm gonna be held accountable for this shit.
You can't get away with it.
You like, because they see what's happened, and they see people get away with it. So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean, I'm good. I'll get away like the other person. They're like, no, like these people need to, you know what I mean? They got to pay for it, and that's the only way. Some people are gonna think twice before doing something stupid.
Yep. We tired of it. Like, once again, Black Lives Matter. But let's talk about the good times, because this is episode 30.
We actually have this platform.
we got that out of our system.
Yeah.
What Kendrick say? We gonna be
all right. Yeah, man. Episode 30.
Damn,
episode.
Bro, I feel like we would have had more episodes from this.
Well, because we started taking a break, and then the pandemic happened.
No, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I mean, is shit. We lasted longer than we thought.
Our boat is we still rowing our boat.
Yeah.
So
I've seen people that tried it. They give up at the second episode or whatever. Like, it's like, God damn, we good. Like,
and I mean, we have to tip it off to, I mean, not only ourselves and just always like pushing, but like some of our followers. Like, we have our very close like circle of friends who are always there supporting us, and they're asking, when's the next episode? Like, new content. Oh, and there's Nola.
What up, Nola? Shout out Nola. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, and I think of it too, like, damn, like, I know we have those 20, 25 like supporters, listeners that are there like constantly when we drop, like, if it's merch or episode or whatever it is. We had our little after party for after the No Place Like Home event.
Yep.
And that's what we're gonna do it for. I mean, if that's the only people that are there, like, that's what we're gonna try to entertain.
Actually, got a message today from Neva, and she was, catching up on her podcast. She has a long list of podcasts. That's her thing.
This is
at work. One of a few people who are back at work. So she goes, "Hey, when are you guys going to drop a podcast? I'm all cut up on you guys." I was like, actually, today, right now.
You should have been like, now go to YouTube and rewatch them so we get the views up.
Get our views up. But yeah, no, man, it's
bro, that's funny. So we have a little thing that we're gonna do at the end of this episode, or right now. I'm not sure.
We'll do it whenever we feel like it.
We want to talk about our favorite episodes or like favorite moments. And while I'm going through my through YouTube, just trying to figure out, I'm like, fuck, like maybe this will crank it up to send people back to that old episode and get us at least like 2 or 3 views out of that.
That was my idea.
Good line.
but you're right. Like, and it's funny because I could not decide. Like, I have so many in my head that I really enjoyed. Yeah, even once that guy was just the one recording, because it gave me an opportunity just to listen in on everybody. And I'm going through this and I'm laughing, And like they're the serious ones, the ones of like growth. And I'm like, man, this is so hard to pick from because we had such good conversations with really good people. And even the ones just in between ourselves were really fun. Like I almost picked the one of Troy getting catfished. Like that was up there. But
I mean, that's what it's about. Even if, I mean, I don't think we really have a goal from this. Like, we're not trying to build up the podcast to sell it and sell advertisement or nothing. I mean, when we started,
money doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, if there's anyone out there, like, hit us up. No, but like, I mean, main thing, and I'm glad that we still keep it at that, is just to document conversations. And even if these conversations are just for us to go back like 5 years from now and watch them, like, it's good.
I get to show our kids. They're gonna be like, "What? You used to have a podcast?" And
that's crazy.
Shy them away from certain episodes, though. Like, don't listen to this one.
Don't let them hear Troy's story about doing this thing so he could leave school early. Don't give these kids ideas.
Yes.
Oh gosh, no, please no.
No, but it's dope, and that's what I did last night when I was going through it as well. I was like, it's just funny, and to watch our episodes is just
that was our thing. Is, you know, let's laugh, let's have fun, let's make it a platform for when we do have people on, and I think we definitely accomplished that. And sky's the limit for another year, then another year, and another year.
Yeah.
More episodes, right, so more faces, more stories.
Yes.
Man, we want me to start off, stories.
Absolutely, yeah. Let me go ahead and get you queued up here. But let us know let them know which one this is.
Yeah. So Jazz gave us a little task of finding a moment, I guess you can say, for throughout our whole first season. And for me, it was episode 5, summertime. And I was excited because it was a Taco Tuesday. And Jazz, if you're ready, are you ready? Almost? Not yet?
Almost.
It's okay. It's okay. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready and I'll stop talking. But come on, you know, being in Fresno, being in Central Valley, we like our tacos. And Ray Ortiz, shout out to Ray. He normally do his Loteria Tuesdays at Tioga, and you know I was excited for a song, and this is what happened.
Our dude Ray Ortiz be having a Loteria night,
and next thing you know, all I hear is La Chona, La Chona, La Chona. I'm black.
That's not even that. That's not even that melody, bro. That's La Bota, La Bota.
Oh shit! This is how y'all do it. I'm too black for that. La Bota. La Bota, La Bota.
It was La Chona. That's the wrong melody, brother.
I was so,
bro.
I thought I was right. I was like, man, my Mexicans gonna love me for this one. And
that's too funny.
Bam, I was wrong.
That one,
that's funny. I don't think I'm wearing the same shirt and the same hat from that day.
It's okay.
I should have shared with you guys what we were doing, so you know what not to wear. I almost wore on one of the other ones like my same shirt, and I'm just like, nope.
It's all good.
Yeah. So if there's a sponsor out there that wants to sponsor our attire, go for it.
We need some gear. I can't rotate as often. No, man, that was funny, and that was just us getting started. So I felt like it lived on a little more, and like we would go out to Tioga or R-Hop or wherever we'll be at, and like people would kind of quote it.
Yeah.
Like I remember like hearing people be like, "What's up with Troy and La Bota?" Like, and I don't know, that's what was dope for me. Like in the first episodes, not to say that people don't do it now, but in the beginning, like people were excited. It's something new, and like people were like quoting certain things. And that was one of them. That's funny.
That is definitely one part that is funny about the podcast. Like people who do really listen.
Yeah.
They always quote us, or they tell us, or like, give me more detail about this. And I can't imagine like the amount of conversations it's sparked up, or like not even like, I wouldn't say arguments, but like conversations like that have happened because of their like, give me a little bit more of your reason why you think of this.
That's funny.
Jordan, you've been put in the corner probably so many times because of that.
What do you mean?
Like I think of like our conversations with like our female friends, like actually both you guys got put in the corner for that one. But it's nice though, because people are like, I want to hear more like behind the scenes, like let's hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, but we got to keep it short so that we could make more episodes off of that one topic.
Exactly. But do you want to go
next?
into yours?
Yes. What was mine? Episode
6.
Episode 6, and the one that stood out. I mean, there's a lot of moments as well that I really liked, but just going through the episodes, I started from the beginning, and there was this one moment where we had Daniel Ramos on our episode.
Spirit Boat,
shout him out, and he was talking about him and having supporters, like when he was having his book release, and I just felt like it was like a good motivational episode, and that's the clip I chose. You wanna?
Yeah, I will go ahead and share that one now.
show me what you got.
Enjoy the exhibit. Totally can. No one has to spend any money, but I'm releasing a photo book and T-shirt as just like a memento, something to remember where I started and the beginning of.
And this is like super limited when it comes to the book and the T-shirt.
Yeah.
And we've been like monitoring you. I'm like,
this
man.
Is one of them them proud to pay moments. Then the proud to pay movement right there, right? Like
hell yeah,
I
bro,
seen
and
it.
it's like big nip energy, man. Cause
that's right.
I had the blessing to cross paths with him multiple times in this past year, and just it rubbed me in ways that have just influenced the way I think and the way I want to move. And this is one of those things where I was just like, I know there's 100 people out here who support what I do, so I'm gonna honor them and make them feel good about having something that only they're gonna have.
So you got on your. Yeah, man, that was that hit for me, especially like right now with what I'm doing, us being out of work and me just finding ways to hustle and make a few bucks and pressing up these T-shirts, putting up whatever money I have saved into this. Is like, man, like I know I have a couple of supporters out there that would get behind this, and I guess it was just kind of like a reminder, like, yo, like not to doubt myself, like put my money where my mouth is and trust the process. So that
Definitely
was a good one.
That process, man.
Yes, sir. What's up with you, Jess? What you got?
Man, so like I said, mine was super hard. There were so many people that we've interviewed that I thought had really great stories, and all like inspirational. Like even the Spirit Boat one, I think it was one of the IG posts that we did where he's telling your story about walking from Ashland down to the stadium, and I was thinking about that one, but I needed one that would encompass everything, and so I actually chose Mike Oz's interview. When he's just talking about basically Fresno is such a great place to create something. Like there's so many opportunities here.
That's a good one.
And I mean, we took that chance. Like there's so many people who downplay Fresno. And I mean, I was one of them at a point in my life, and meeting you guys and meeting a few more of our very inspirational friends completely changed my mind. And like now, I mean, I don't think you guys probably get tired of all my Fresno posts.
It's up to us to make it that. I mean, if we don't do it, if we just skip through it, like who is going to build that you know what I mean, that image for people to believe that.
Exactly.
So let's get to it.
Yes. Let me share my screen.
Like you could be Heck and you could go make a Grizzly Fest in LA or San Francisco or whatever, but it's gonna be a lot harder. I mean, you could be me and Sam and you can make a taco truck throwdown and wherever, but it's gonna be harder. Like in Fresno, you could for us, I mean, granted we've been at this a while now, but I mean, we just decided one day we're gonna do Fresno Street Eats, and like it took off, dude. I mean, like you can't do that in a lot of other cities.
Exactly.
And like I think anybody, like I said, if you put some effort into it, like if you just try and you kind of like trying to meet some people or whatever, like as like an investment, it's one of those things that pays big dividends as opposed to sitting around and just bad mouthing Fresno.
I feel like Fresno's like one of those cities where like for doers too is like it's a plain canvas. Like, yo, it's there. What do you want to do? Whether it's a taco truck throwdown event, a Grizzly Fest, it's all there because it's not like stuff like that hasn't happened till like now. So it's a blank canvas. Like,
yeah, I mean,
choose your poison.
Yep,
So feel that way. Yo, one thing that's changed or like has been worked on like this whole 1 year of the podcast is like I don't stutter as bad. I'm working on that.
It's interesting that you say that because so my clip was going to be longer. The time that I really wanted to start because you had stated a quote and like I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but like you're right there was a little you were stuttering a lot and I was like this is making this clip too long and so I had
it's like I'm thinking of it's like I know what I want to say, I'm thinking of it and like I'm trying to think of the words to use it and try not to cuss or whatever and it's like
that's the thing like you
whatever.
I think of this for everybody who does have a stutter. It's like you're putting so much thought into your words that's just your time basically loading. Like
I feel
you
like
want to get it right.
And I feel like if I don't want to stutter or like be choppy with it, it seems dramatic because I'm like taking long breaks. It's like, you know, like, all right, let me just spit it out.
A bit dramatic.
It's just a little. But yeah, no, that was a good episode.
And I really feel like I think we ourselves have been starting like our own things as well, like to build here in Fresno, but like we've been observing some of our friends, that sounds weird. Sounds so official. Watching some of our friends even do stuff themselves here in Fresno, like starting their own small business, whether it's online or in person. Like,
I mean, even
from that time.
Steph doing her, what is this? Sticks and Stones,
yeah.
Yeah, like it's dope. Like to see
little boutique
online boutique is like, and I remember us having this conversation at Tioga. Remember, Jazz? Do you remember?
Oh yeah,
this?
I had messaged her after I saw it pop up, and I'm like, I'm so proud. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
like I remember when this was just an idea.
Yeah, I remember us having a conversation around the little fire. We're talking, and she mentioned what she wanted to do, and now she's
I must have been
running.
intoxicated that night.
I don't think you were there.
You weren't there. Yeah, I don't know where you were that night.
But yeah, like and like her speaking about it, making it happen, and now when I see her repost Jazz's package arriving to her place, it's like, fuck, there you go. Like that's dope. Just make things happen.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's one thing that's happening right now with the whole pandemic. Like I said, like I always say, things happen for a reason. I think if you lost your job or if, I don't know, certain things are happening in the world, I think it's fate telling you like, hey, remember that like idea you had or that plan that didn't fully go out? Like this is just saying you need to take a turn into a different direction.
Yeah.
And so.
It definitely makes you grind harder.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm so excited to continue this.
So do we want to, I mean, I know we said that we're going to try to do more episodes through Zoom and whatnot, and we just didn't. And after having our No Place Like Home episode, I mean, Zoom seemed kind of cool to do it, but we wanted to wait for this day to celebrate and post it on the 1 year anniversary. Do we want to continue to do episodes? I feel like we could get people quicker on through a Zoom meeting and get them on. Like, is this something we want
the people talking about?
Yeah.
Drop a comment, drop a like.
Send a DM to Troy, let him know.
I know, send it to Troy.
I'll take all the DMs.
Because I mean, and I asked because there's people that I wanted us to have conversations with. DJ Bambi being one of them. Just different friends that we have in Dez and whatnot. But I felt like the vibe would have been cool to have them like in the same room. But being that all this is going on, I mean, it'll be it'll be easier to get them on Zoom. I mean,
so yeah, convenient. And I mean, we had mentioned.
Plus, I feel like we could do this, and then like once everything opens up or whatever, once we feel comfortable, we could do it again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We always keep talking about how we're gonna do our dating episode part 2. So I always think the fall.
I got some
good.
questions about this. I'm ready for that. I got some questions that I had to ask for a friend.
Ask for a friend.
What do they say?
Let me give a special thanks to everybody who came on the podcast from beginning to now. So quick shout out before my phone died. Ash Marie, Ali, Card City. Keep going. I'm scrolling through. Spirit Bolt. Mike Oz. Closed Minded Podcast.
Hey.
All right.
Where they at?
All out.
Come on, Sam, get it together, man.
Sam living his best life with those tomahawk lamb chops or whatever he been eating.
This guy.
Man, you could have helped me out. I'm still trying to pull out my.
You just scrolling down YouTube.
Oh, I totally thought that you were. You like had a list actually made.
No,
oh, man, shout out everybody from Pastor Anthony to
Shay.
We had Shay. Shout out Shay.
K Rich.
Yeah. Fash.
Premio Mayor.
What up, man? Can we talk about Premio Mayor? Did y'all just see her?
Bitwise.
Shout out Bitwise. Shout out. Yo, did you guys see that new truck that Premio Mayor just posted?
I did.
Man, that
you can't miss it.
It's like a proud moment. Like that's your people and be like, but we were just saying right now, like, man, just keep doing it. Though they've been doing it, but it's just their business getting bigger. And
yeah, that was another one.
Moment.
Bianca's story of just like how it all started. Like
the
tear jerker part. I was like, oh, I want to use that one too. Too many to choose from.
Yeah.
Sorry, Troy.
Mega Texas.
Yeah.
Nisha.
What up, Nisha?
I'm literally just going through. Lex. That was a dating episode. Oh, my man. Wu-Tangzy,
what up?
All right, bro, my phone about to die. You gotta pick up.
This guy's phone's always dying.
Hey, I was at the gym. The gym's back open.
Let's see. I'm trying to see. We also had Tioga.
Yeah.
A part for New Year's Eve.
And it was Tioga and Zax,
yes. And then we had Aesthetics.
Yes.
We also had Andrew Jans.
And we're doing big things, man.
We were doing big things.
And that's,
we had
all Troy.
Anthony.
Yeah, that's all Troy networking out there. Shaking hands and kissing
that was one of them. And that completes our list, guys. That's quite the list.
Yo, that's not bad for a little rinkety podcast.
If y'all like this year, just stay tuned because I already know with our creative minds, we're gonna get going.
Yep, creative minded.
Oh, wait, we need a quote of the day, of course. I actually have one. I found one earlier. Okay. That happened to just pop up. Shout out to JP Marketing for posting this because I was like, oh, that fits perfectly.
Let's see.
Okay.
Something good.
So I don't know where they actually pulled the quote from. I don't know. They could have came up with it, but it says, every next level of your life will demand a different you.
Hold on, read it one more time because my volume not loud.
It says, every next level of your life will demand a different you.
George Young.
You said who?
George Young.
George Young.
No, I thought that was really pertinent to us because, I mean, we have grown so much over this last year. And, I mean, we still have so many ideas for where we not want to take this, but, like, just the people we want to interview, the stories we want to tell, and, like, we're learning, like,
the things that we're going to get into ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're still not done with all of the like the events that we throw on once we can have events.
Dude, I'm excited for the conversation we'll have 4 months from now or whatever.
Hopefully.
Yeah, like, or whatever it'd be, but like half a year. You know what I mean? Like that conversation we're gonna have of what we're actually going through right now, or like the things that we're doing a grind and just doing behind the scenes to get to where we're gonna be at in a couple of months. It's gonna be good because I feel like all three of us are working on stuff of our own that's gonna branch out, and we'll meet back up here and have those conversations, and those things are gonna have obstacles itself and within themselves. So it's gonna be more motivating conversations.
Yep, I'm excited. So stay tuned, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you. Happy 1 year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
I'm pumped up.